These game characters had us hiding behind the sofa. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 scariest characters from non-horror video games. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we'll be looking at characters and enemies from games outside the horror genre that nevertheless managed to strike fear into our hearts.
No, there's no need for words, Snake. I am Psycho Mantis.
Number 10. Mimics, Soul Series. Everyone loves opening treasure chests in video games. It usually means picking up some money or a new piece of equipment, and sometimes there's a spiffy tune to go along with it. The sadistic minds behind the Soul series knew this all too well and created mimics, creatures that look almost exactly like ubiquitous chests, except that instead of giving something to you, they're trying to take your life, grabbing the player with hidden arms and holding them while their massive lid jaws chomp on you. They can even get up and chase you. Mimics are the perfect illustration that almost nothing and nowhere is safe in a Souls game. Number 9. Snacker the Shark, Banjo-Kazooie. While some of the enemies in this classic rare game can be threatening, only one is truly scary: Snacker. His name may not inspire fear, but his presence certainly does. In Treasure Trove Cove and a few other locales, if the player swims in the open ocean, they will instantly find themselves the target of Snacker, the local shark. Not only will the vicious fish snap at you immediately and repeatedly, but the music will also shift to a menacing riff reminiscent of the theme from Jaws. And, just like that film, Snacker will have gamers afraid to go back in the water. Number 8. Ballos, Cave Story. Cave Story has several surprisingly scary enemies, but its most terrifying is definitely its hidden final boss, Ballos. Located at the end of a level so difficult it's nicknamed Hell, Ballos is a powerful sorcerer whose magic drove him mad, killing his wife and children while he laughed. His appearance alone is quite disturbing, possessing red and white eyes and an unsettling grin, as well as several transformations into huge heads that supersize these scary features. His boss fight is terrifyingly difficult too, devolving into chaos that will have first-time players panicking and running for the door. Number 7. The Piano, Super Mario 64. Most Mario enemies are fairly cute in design, but some of them have got some teeth to them. Literally. Even so, in most cases, you can see them coming. However, gaming's most famous franchise has only had a few jump scares in its time, and its biggest one occurs in Big Boo's Haunt, where a certain room in the mansion has a piano. At first, it appears to be a normal piano, but if the player approaches it, the instrument will come to life, opening its lid and snapping at you with a huge, fanged mouth, as its keys thunder threateningly at you. Number 6. ReDeads, The Legend of Zelda series. Zelda games have a number of undead enemies, but easily the most consistently frightening are the ReDeads. Usually taking the form of zombie-like creatures, these enemies usually wear a dead-eyed mask or sport large, toothy mouths. In either case, their behavior is the same. While slow-moving, ReDeads are able to freeze the player in place if they see them, letting out a terrifying shriek in the process. They then slowly approach the player, and although it's possible to break free and get out of their range, The sense of helplessness and the way they latch onto you if and when they reach you is a very disturbing experience. Number 5. Monster Ock SpiderMan.
What's up? Is that Ock?
Marvel's friendly neighborhood wall crawler has his share of scary foes, but this video game managed to make one even scarier by combining two of them. Upon the defeat of Carnage, its symbiote takes over the body of Dr. Octopus, turning him into a monstrous fusion of the two villains. The horrific, fleshy-looking character is frightening enough on his own, but the fact that he then proceeds to chase the player slash Spidey through a series of tight corridors while yelling, "Die!" and other threats is positively petrifying.
This place is gonna blow.
Number 4. Psycho Mantis Metal Gear series.
It's useless. I told you, I can read your every thought.
This stealth action series has plenty of colorful and threatening villains, but this psychic boss is easily one of the scariest. Sporting a gas mask and a creepy voice, Psycho Mantis also manages to get inside players' heads by breaking the fourth wall, appearing to mess with the TV settings, activating rumble features on the controller, and even reading the memory card and discussing other video games.
You've been playing Super Mario Sunshine, haven't you?
Additionally, the unconventional method of defeating Psycho Mantis, plugging the controller into another port, means that he's a very tough and frustrating boss to fight against.
Can you feel my power? The demonstration is over.
Number 3. Scarecrow Batman Arkham series.
How many lives will you destroy in pursuit of what you call justice?
What better choice for a scary video game characters list than a fear-based supervillain? Scarecrow is a member of Batman's Rogues Gallery, who, in the Arkham franchise, wears a desiccated mask like the farm decorations he takes his name from, while also sporting injectors willed with fear toxin on his hands, kind of like Freddy Krueger. Scarecrow inspires fear among the citizens of Gotham, as well as the Dark Knight, and players find themselves experiencing vivid hallucinations brought on by his signature concoction.
Father, you should have stood up to him, son. Like a man.
With his menacing voices, frightening appearance, and terror-inducing weaponry, Scarecrow may not be a horror villain, but he's definitely close.
Die, knowing that I will make them suffer. Everyone.
Number 2. Gaius EarthBound. The final boss of this largely silly game turns the style of EarthBound completely on its head. A formless evil of mysterious origin, Gaius is a profoundly disconcerting character. Though it has been built up throughout the game, Gaius is still a surprise when Ness and friends finally face it. With its terrifying amorphous face, creepy dialogue, and literally indescribable attacks, Gaius proves so powerful and intimidating that the only thing you can do against it is literally pray. Well, that and hope the nightmares don't last very long. Number 1. Queen Vanessa, A Hat in Time. A charming 3D platformer, A Hat in Time also has one of the scariest characters outside of a horror game, Queen Vanessa. While investigating her manor, the player encounters the shadowy being with red glowing eyes, who freezes any intruders in her home. Close proximity to Her Majesty causes the screen to distort and the music to intensify, making for an experience right out of a horror game. The house's creepy atmosphere, along with your complete inability to do damage to her, helps to create a truly terrifying video game character. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.